Hi there. My name is Maeve, and I'm here to love, liberate, inspire, and grow with you all. Today, I want to just take a moment and invite you to slow down with wherever you're at, whatever you're doing. Slow down and just notice if there's any sensations alive in your body right now. Notice what the environment around you feels like, sounds like, smells like. Notice what your heart feels like, if there's any sensation or aliveness there, or if you can tune your attention into your heart now and see what kind of rhythm your heart has. Is it fast? Do you feel a little tension? Is there something there that you've been avoiding or ignoring? And just take a few breaths, deeper than usual, longer than usual. All right, I want to guide us through a nervous system regulation breath practice, sequence, if you will. So we're going to breathe in for a count of 4, holding for 8 at the top, and then exhaling for a count of 8 as well. I'll do my best to guide and participate at the same time, so bear with me. Inhale for 1, 2. Hold for 8 at the top. Exhale all the way out for the count of 8. Inhale for 4. Hold for 8. Exhale for 8. And we're going to do this 4 times, or 3 more times. Inhale for the count of 4. Hold for 8. Exhale all the way out. All right, just take a moment to notice if anything has shifted in your body. Return to your normal breath. See if you can hear any birds chirping wherever you may be. And then next, we're going to place our hands behind our skull and keeping your eyes gazing forward, not moving your head, or just keep your gaze forward, but move only your eyes all the way to your left elbow. And hold your eyes all the way as far as they can look towards your left elbow until you yawn, sigh, or swallow. And then once that happens, slowly move your eyes all the way over to your right elbow and do the same thing. Wait for a yawn, sigh, or swallow. Notice if there's any aches or tension in your body. And if you do notice something, see if there's a story around that ache. If there's something that you feel you're lacking right now. If you were to ask your body the question of what is there not enough of right now, what's the first thought that comes to mind? And then just take a minute to breathe into that spot, breathe into the tension with compassion. Just noticing, not trying to fix it, seeing if you can maybe soften it ever so slightly with an adjustment of movement, just letting your body move and wiggle slightly in whatever way that naturally comes. And just notice your feet wherever they are right now on the floor. And maybe send gratitude to your feet for holding you up, for allowing you to move. Our feet are something that we use every day, and yet we forget about them. We barely even notice them. We never take a moment to be grateful for hands and feet that work if we're blessed enough to be capable right now. So just take a minute to really feel the energy of your feet, maybe your hands. Notice what part of your body feels the best right now. For me, it's often my forearms when I ask myself that question. There's like a tingle in the front of my forearms, and then it kind of trickles into other areas when I allow it to expand. I'm grateful to anyone that participated in that with me. I want to share a couple highlights, and a low light of my week. And I invite you to ponder the same question. What's been a highlight and low light of your week? I like to ask people that because it gives you a chance to reflect on something that maybe you forgot about, a little glimmer of a nice sensation, but it also allows you to share something that's maybe been on your chest that you've been carrying alone. And even though it may come off as negative to some people, like, oh, I don't want to talk about anything negative, which is toxic positivity. But I believe personally collectively, we shouldn't be carrying all that we carry alone. It's better to get it out of our body, speak it out so that it can, alchemize, if you will, or just be witnessed and seen by another human. So for me, a highlight was today, my sweet little dog got to have a play date with her best friend, who's also this little dog that lives down the street. And they just ran around and played so cutely for so long, and they wore each other out completely. They were just doing figure eights around the table and the kitchen table and in the living room. And they also ran around outside. And my dog did a complete face plant into the grass because she was running so fast. And it really touched my heart that she needs connections and friends just as much as I do right now, and that we all do. Another little highlight was I've been listening to a lot of Youngblood podcasts. This guy, he's an artist, a musician. I don't know if you've heard of him. I actually haven't really listened to very much of his music, but he's been showing up on my Instagram feeds, that he has really good eye contact and that he really cares about his fans. And it's been really fascinating to listen to him speak about his life. And I listened to a nearly 2-hour podcast last night of him, and he just is so passionate about creating community and creating a sense of belonging for people who may have been different or outcasted, or just different than their peers. And it's really beautiful that people like him exist and use their popularity for something good. And his festivals have a make a friend tent where it's just an empty tent, and people go in there with the openness and intention to meet whoever else goes in there. So that's really sweet. And then a low light I had this week was at work. This customer guy said, "You're so quiet," when really he was mid-sentence, speaking something, and kind of forgot what he was going to say. And I was just waiting for him to finish what he was saying. But it triggered a part of me because I hadn't heard that in so long, but I heard it all the time as a child. I would be riding the bus or sitting in class, and other kids would come up to me or sit next to me and be like, "Why are you so quiet?" And I would never know how to answer that question. What little kid, how is that going to make them want to talk to you, But I get it now. It took me 37 years to understand why I was quiet and, why I didn't have an answer for that question. But yeah, it affected me a lot. That's what I got called a lot as a child, that I was shy or quiet, when really I just couldn't relate to kids. And I realize now that there was a lot of oppression and things going on at home and things going on in myself, that I was just basically shut down and, not regulated, hated school. I think because I was bored, honestly. Yeah, I remember being bored a lot. I knew I was smart, and I would always pass the tests, and I never studied for anything, but I also didn't apply myself. And sometimes I would just choose not to do the homework and not to do the class assignment because I didn't need the grade. And sometimes I would get in trouble for that or get a talking to. But I'm like, I don't care. I don't need this information in my life. So, anyways, that's a little about me. I hope you had a good week. I just want to remind everyone that all of you is welcome. Those are words that my heart has wanted to hear for a long time. And so I want that to be a new mantra reminder for my channel, for my videos. Just all of you is welcome. If you're sad, if you're grieving something, if you feel alone, if you feel excited, if you're bursting with joy and no one else understands it, or people around you can't meet you there, that's welcome here too. Like anyone who's ever felt like they were too much or their energy was too big, too loud, too quiet, too small, all of you is welcome here. So, thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for not giving up on yourself.